The following is a presentation of Real Wise Productions and Comey Media Incorporated. Is it possible for the vice president to not sound rehearsed? And Diddy in the court hearing had to take that. Next on Mentality. Welcome to another installment of Mentality, where iron sharpens iron in the realm of health, wealth, mental health, entrepreneurship, love, and brotherhood, all from a man's perspective. I am one of the co-hosts of this program, Cole Johnson, aka the Mad Scientist and the EP of all EPs. And I am joined as always by the other co-host of this program. You may know him as Wize All, Bizarre Wise, King Petty, and the James Lipton of the crew. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, your boy and mine, Wize, aka Wise LF. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing good, brother. I'm doing good. I can't complain.
All right, we will begin with the second gentleman. Now, Vice President Kamala Harris, she walked off Air Force Two and into the wind, and her husband, Doug Emhoff, was right behind her. Now, she flashed a broad smile and waved at the crowd before grabbing onto the railing. Emhoff offered his arm, but Harris, being the most powerful woman in the country, also his wife. So the couple descended step by step until they reached the bottom together. Now, Emhoff had seen his spouse through high profile campaigns over the last decade, and now he was doing everything possible to help her become president, and still is. Sometimes it's just lending an arm, and sometimes it's procuring a bag of Doritos. Now, my question to you, sir, is he also offered that his presence sort of redefines masculinity? I guess my question to you is, do you believe masculinity needs to be redefined at all?
No. Why? Because he's supporting his wife. Because she's going for president, and he's the one who's giving the support, and I don't understand, man. It's just the way things are nowadays. People. It's a different time. Like I don't understand. Like before, we've discussed this before, where
Mhm.
it wasn't cool for men to talk about their feelings and talk about their emotions and everything.
Right.
So change the definition of masculinity now, because we're able to discuss our emotions, and we're able to talk about that we need help, and that it's okay for us to show that we're vulnerable.
Mhm. Yeah, and I've always found the preposterous understanding of, well, since this particular man doesn't walk the same path as the prototypical masculine model, well, that means he's not a man at all. And because of that, oh no, I always have a bad taste in my mouth because of that understanding.
but what man takes the same path? I'm saying we all are on our own different path. So what
And that's the
what
beauty of manhood. Yeah.
yeah, what's what's define, like, our careers and our jobs don't define our manhood.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And they don't. They don't. But I am sort of glad we do have this example of someone who, well, he may not be the forefront person. He may have to be the support person because sometimes men do have to be support to their women.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that the guy who actually is a lawyer doesn't take away from what he is and what he does and the power of him as a man and the power of him as his role in society. But you already know some people have the toxic understanding of, well, since you're not where your wife are, well, that means you must be a little bit of a beta male, which I think is ridiculous.
Oh, man.
Well, I should say, let me clarify, which we both think is ridiculous.
Yeah, then we have the situation kind of with ASAP Rocky
ASAP Rocky
and
and Rihanna. Hmm.
and but ASAP has his own career. He's a very successful artist
Hmm.
himself.
Yeah,
It just happens that his woman makes way more money.
yeah, yeah, and more power to her, and more power to him. And judging from how she has been, it looks like he has been all man in the relationship because I had the next bad word I will hear from Rihanna about ASAP Rocky be the first. So to me, that's all that matters. Does she treat
Mm.
their son well or their sons well? Does she treat her well? Since that answers yes to all that, I have no issue with. I don't care what is in his pocket, just as long as you do what you're supposed to do as a man, which is to take care of your family. I salute you, bro, and I salute Mr. Imhoff.
Yeah. Listen, they're just, oh man,
Yeah.
it's just people out there that's they want to run this election on basically on fear and hate and all this other stuff. And we already know what's how some people act and how some people are.
Hmm. Yeah. Now we of course saw the debate between Donald Trump and the vice president last month, and almost immediately after that debate, the former president says, "Nope, nope, 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 not debating at all." Well, Fox has still dangled out that carrot to the former president. However, he still has declined additional debates with Vice President Kamala Harris, reportedly after turning down an invitation from Fox News, which they offered the dates of October 24th or 27th. Why is Donald Trump not wanting the Kamala Harris debating smoke?
Because he won't beat her. He knows that all it takes is a few. He knows he's easy to trigger, and she says one thing and it will set him off. Listen, this man flipped out because she was on Howard Stern, and he went and started belittling Howard Stern. Then she goes on The View, and he attacks a View host, and he wanted to call her like wanted to come out his mouth, like wanted to come out his mouth, and by by the grace of God, this idiot did not say it, but it was there. It was coming out like he was ready to say this on The View. She's just as dumb as, but he you can just it's like kind of like when Kamala was trying to say mofo, like yeah, it was like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yeah, in the debate. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh Lord, he complained about Kamala being on Howard Stern's show. Really?
Yeah, yeah,
After the many times he's been on that show himself.
Oh, he said I dropped Howard. That's why his ratings are so bad. And I'm like, man,
he went typical Trump. Okay.
yeah, he's not stupid. He is, but he's not.
All right, so we have Travis Kelce. We've known that he's a picky eater, and that is something that his older brother has mentioned many times. One of the things that he is talking about, Jason Kelce, has actually lauded about his new relationship, about Travis's new relationship with Taylor Swift. His palate has increased. In fact, Jason on their wonderful podcast, The New Heights, said the following to his brother: "Quote, my girl Tay is getting you opened up. She's introducing new foods to you. One of the greatest things that I'm happy about." Close quote. Now, my question to you, sir, is it a beautiful thing to see Taylor Swift expand Travis Kelce's experiences?
Um, you act like I give a.
We're just getting started. Mentality will return. This is a BS3 Network presentation.
I want to do a TED Talk, but I don't have anything to talk about yet. I'm getting there.
Life is for the living. We're not here that long.
You can learn anything you want to learn without any money spent.
What do I really enjoy? What do I really want out of life?
I am your host, Wize.
Are you in a life holding pattern? Well, this is for you. Welcome to the Stuck in My Mind podcast. Live every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 4 p.m. Central. Whether it's news, the largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant, weather, devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States, inspiration, a breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy and now begins a future one of matrimony, or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another beating a dead horse presentation. We got you covered. BS3 Network, in association with Comey Media Incorporated, proudly present The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. Live every weekday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central. Welcome back to Mentality, where men are men, and men are men. With Wize and Cole, I am Cole Johnson, and we touched a little bit on Donald Trump. Actually, we'll touch a little bit more on him as well. We're going to also now touch a little bit more on the vice president. Now, we've been seeing her make the rounds in the media circles. We're going to touch on one of those rounds in politically speaking. In a wide-ranging sit-down with 60 Minutes that aired on Monday, Vice President Kamala Harris defended her policy on policy reversals on issues such as fracking and immigration. Plus, she criticized former President Donald Trump for backing out of the CBS 60 Minutes interview. Last minute, I may add. Now, Harris said, as she previously did in a CNN interview, that shifts in her positions on fracking bans and Medicare for all, both of which she has said no longer supports, that came after hearing from Americans across the country in her travels as vice president. Now, she sat down with 60 Minutes correspondent Bill Whitaker, and she had this to opine. Quote, what the American people do want is we have leaders who can build consensus, where we could figure out compromise and understand it's not a bad thing as long as you don't compromise your values to find common sense solutions. And that has been my approach. Close quote. Now, I will begin by asking this of you, sir. Now, does the vice president, and just think about not just necessarily the 60 Minutes interview, but the CNN interview, when she was on The View, when she was with Howard Stern, even in her campaign rally speeches, and even in the DNC acceptance speech, does the vice president sound rehearsed in her responses?
No.
Hmm.
No. To me, she sounds authentically herself. Like she sounds like Kamala. It's listen. He's gonna make excuse. They're gonna make excuses. They're gonna say all this stuff about her. But everything they say about her is the complete opposite of who she really is. They call her dumb and they call her stupid. And then I listen to him speak, and I'm like,
Oh Lord.
You're calling her. She's a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
She's college educated.
Mm-hmm.
Very well spoken. And you call her dumb. And I hear your speeches, and you're rambling on, and you're talking about college professor friends of yours tell you that you are wonderful and you know how to. Please save that stupid for your constituents, because they're the ones who eat that up. But someone who knows, who has free will and can think for themselves and is not drones, they listen to you and they're like, this dude is a idiot. Because that's what I think about every time he opens his mouth.
That's very difficult to dispute. Now he may have some good things about him, but yeah, there's times when he opens his mouth, it's like, oh Lord. So I guess your mother and father did not teach you. I'm assuming your mother taught you this too, because I know my parents did. If you either have nothing nice to say or you have nothing smart to
Don't say nothing at all. Yes.
Don't say a thing and close your mouth and keep your mouth shut.
But he can't.
No.
He can't help it. He got diarrhea of the mouth when it comes to that.
Well put. Well put. Now, during an interview, the interviewer, Bill Whitaker again, he actually asked a question that was really interesting to ask her. He asked if he felt that Americans actually have gotten a chance to really know her. So, is it possible we will get a better understanding of who Kamala Harris is as time goes on?
In the little bit of time that we have, we have to get to know as much as far as possible. For me, I just personally feel that from what I've seen from her, she is much more capable of working across partisan lines to make sure that Americans are good. When you start to politicize the events that are going down in North Carolina and Florida, that to me becomes an issue. And that's what he's been doing. Oh, Biden hasn't even been here. And then you get the Republican governors say, nope, that's a lie. They've been here. Harris has been taught. I've spoken to Kamala, and then you get idiots like Ron DeSantis refusing to talk to the vice president because he wants to make it a political thing. She's not. She doesn't. She's not trying. She's not calling him to show like it's no. He's making a political issue now, and that's what they do. That's the problem, that they don't care about people. And just the way they act now can show you, it shows you how it is. Like, they want to use a natural disaster, one of the worst in American history, to attack their enemies or to attack their opponents. And it's just not right. It's just not right. But these fools keep sucking it up. They keep believing in what he's saying. They idolize this man, and that's crazy. He's an entertainer. There's a comedian that points this out. Talks about Trump in one of his stand-ups, and he points out that Trump is an entertainer. So when you attack his rallies, talking about they walk out and they're low and they're small audiences, the entertainer in him feels attacked. Because what entertainer wants to hear that his audience is small, or that people are walking out? Yeah. He and that's what he is. He's an entertainer, and people buy into this character that he portrays, and it's stupid. It's just stupid. And people, I don't care who you vote for, just go out and vote, and let your voices be heard, man. But me personally, I wouldn't vote for him.
Do you think that Kamala Harris's flipping of stances will come back to hurt her?
Why is it that when people actually do their research and find out certain things, and they decide that maybe they were on the wrong side of an issue, and then they decide like maybe we should do this, why is that flip-flopping? I change my mind all the time. I change opinions on stuff all the time because I might hear something that makes sense to me. I'm like, oh, hey, yeah, that's true. So because she changed her mind over a few years, like that's the beauty of being human. Sometimes you can see the error in our ways and see that maybe that wasn't the right thing to agree with. Maybe I should have went this. I see nothing wrong with that. But again, people are gonna attack, talking about flip-floppers. Well, for many years, Donald was pro-choice.
Now, you talked about earlier bipartisanship, and I think we both will agree if Trump gets a hold of the White House a second term, bipartisanship is just tossed out the window.
Yeah, completely.
Do you believe that the vice president could successfully achieve bipartisanship as she described in the interview?
Yes, better than he had. Definitely.
Oh,
but you still have his MAGA stooges that are still there. You still have the Marjorie Taylor Greens. You still have Matthew. I didn't know she was 16-year-old Getz. Hopefully Lauren Boebert won't be there. It looks like she's gonna go down because she's just stupid.
Oh wow.
So yeah.
So, oh Lord, so no Beetlejuice from you?
No. I'm so glad that they redid her district and she had to change districts.
Yeah, they redid her districts, and from what I'm understanding, Colorado seems to be leaning more and more blue.
Yeah, she's about to go down. No, she's not gonna be winning this time. So now I don't gotta see her stupid ass on C-SPAN not talking about she don't have no clue.
Oh no. Mentality will be back in 2 and 2. Drew Willingham.
In this case, yeah, you put the blame on Kyle Shanahan for apparently not preparing the team enough for the overtime rules, supposedly.
Cole Johnson. Peyton was considered the winner, and he was the darling of all darlings for Gerald. With a special appearance by Tyrone Alizé McDummy.
Ain't nobody calling me. Text. Delete!
Join these two football enthusiasts as they give you Total Football Talk. Live every Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central on the Sertoba Media and the Comey Media YouTube channels. Cool McCain.
You thought you wanted Gunther against Chad Gable, but you didn't. And I'm going to tell you why. Chad Gable would take everything that Gunther's done and bury it.
The Playmaker.
It was on site. AJ Styles walked out there, seen LA Knight. Oh, okay, then LA Knight hopped out the car. Let's go.
Break down everything in TNA, AEW, and all of the WWE programming. Join these two kings, monarchs of wrestling, live every Monday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Central on the Play Caller Sports Talk YouTube channel. Welcome back to Mentality, where this is the place curated, created, and always motivated for all men. With Wize and Cole, I am Cole Johnson. Now, we've talked about politics. I think we can leave politics alone for the rest of the show. We're going to discuss on something that I think we both enjoy. And the subject actually centers around one Jermaine Cole, a.k.a. J. Cole. I think we should give him enough respect. Now, J. Cole shocked fans when he graciously exited the escalating beef between Drake and Kendrick Lamar back in the spring. Of course, we all know that quickly turned gruesome. Now he's finally addressing the move on a new track called Port Antonio. In April, the height of the beef in response to Kendrick Lamar's Like That verse, of course, that featured Metro Boomin and Future, Cole released the track 7-Minute Drill, but quickly backtracked. A few days after he released the track, on stage at his Dreamville Festival in North Carolina, he apologized to Lamar and said his diss track was, quote, a lame and goofy decision, close quote. The move may have been actually for the best, as the battle got vicious, and it was only beginning when he did opt to pull out. Now, the second half of the track, which is about 5 minutes, 16 seconds long, it addresses fan chatter that the decision took him out of the conversation as one of the best rappers of his generation, saying, quote, I'm smirking at people trying to besmirch me. They stripped me of my spot, and now I'm finally free. Close quote. Now I'll begin by asking this, sir. Do you believe, since he said in first person shooter that that him and Drake and Kendrick Lamar are the big three, do you believe he is no longer one of the big three in today's hip hop?
He's number one. He's number one. We said this when this happened. He said, "Who's gonna benefit from all of this?" It was gonna be him.
Cole. Yeah. Mhm.
And then he just recently dropped a verse, and he explains why he stepped out, and why he didn't, why he it was best for him to step away, which it was, because he came out unscathed.
Yeah.
Drake got humiliated by Kendrick, and of course he had fired some shots at Kendrick as well, but it was best. J. Cole knew what he was doing.
Yeah. And I agree with you. I think that was probably to me, I think that was the best chess move of the whole battle, which is messed up to say because it doesn't involve either person that really went at one another. The best chess move actually was his. And I agree with you. Yeah. I 100% agree with you. I'm with you in lockstep in the respect that I have for him, especially doing this. In your words, why do you respect his decision of pulling out of that rap battle?
Why do I respect it? Because he wasn't gaining nothing from it. What he was gonna get? He was gonna have people. That it makes no sense. You're gonna have people divided to choose. He's like, nah, I don't want that. He says, I'm not gonna go and attack my brothers, men I respect and I grew up in this industry with, for clicks.
Yeah.
He has standards. He has standards. He has moral standards where he's not gonna. He values his friendships and his relationships more than celebrity and fame, and that's why, to me, he is the best rapper alive right now.
That move to me was the quintessential understanding of a true power move, really. The fact that he really was, and when he expressed it on stage, when he said that, look, I just looked at myself when I heard the lyrics, and I didn't like how I felt. I felt cold. I was like, wow. If I couldn't describe what it feels like to have that moral battle inside of you, Jay did it right then in his explanation of 7 Minute Drill of why he felt bad in writing it. Because when you have that battle within yourself, it's like, and then when you come to that decision of, nah, man, this is poisonous. I got to get this out of me.
Exactly.
You could care less what other people say because you actually put forward to me a mature move in a battle. It's like, you know what? This isn't for me. I could rock this all night long if I wanted to, but I'm not feeling the energy. This is the wrong energy. I don't want to put forth that energy. I want to put forth the positive energy.
Yeah.
And this is how I knew it was really a big thing for him, a man thing with him. He's like, look, Kendrick, I will offer you my back. You can go to town on that all you want. And I guarantee you, I will not return fire. You can do whatever you want. Did you hear one single word from Kendrick after that?
No.
That should show you how much respect, because of that move, Kendrick had for Jay for doing that. And I think that also fortifies what you said too, saying he's the best rapper in today's game because of that type of respect coming from Kendrick. Now, we all know that Drake has been feeling some kind of way probably ever since Not Like Us. They Not Like Us. So for about 5 months solid, he's been feeling some kind of way. And Kendrick has been living his best life as a celebrity, hot celebrity hip hop star. In regards to J. Cole, how should both Drake and Kendrick be toward him?
Just show your brother enough respect. That's all. He didn't attack none of y'all. He showed you his loyalty to both of y'all. He respects both of y'all. He's like, yo, Drake, when I was needed something, he helped me out. Same thing with Kendrick.
Yeah.
And that's how I would be. It was like, yo, listen, y'all both my brothers. Yes, y'all don't see eye to eye right now, but I'm not the kind of person that I'm going to choose sides. I respect you both equally. You're both my brothers. I'm not going to go down this route. So they should respect that.
And I think that that element has been lost in understanding. That element is lost. This is a straight up grown man move. That is an element lost, where it's like, look, these are my brothers. Yeah, they don't get along, and they may never get along. But you know what? I'm cool with Drake. I'm cool with Kendrick, and that's not going to change.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, would I like for the two of them to get along? Sure, but unfortunately, it's not going to phase the relationships I have forged, the brotherhoods that I have forged with both these men.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be. So, Jay is going to be coming out with a new album soon. They have pushed it back. It's going to be called, I think, the Fall Off, I believe is what's called. Was what's going to be called. And it may change, of course. But you're a fan of his, and
yes,
you have made me a bigger fan of his after a song that you had me listen to. And I've always been a fan of his, but I had to appreciate him even more after your recommendation. What are you looking forward to hearing with Jay's next offering?
His lyrics. He's a lyricist. This is why I listen to J. Cole. This is why I enjoy J. Cole, is because I come from an era where we had lyricists. I come from the Biggie, Jay-Z, Jadakiss, Fabulous. I come from that era. Big Pun, DMX. I come from lyricists. Talib Kweli, Mos Def, Buckshot Shorty from from Black Moon. Tech and Steel, Smith and Wesson, Helter Skelter. Like I come from a generation of lyricists. Like that's what hip hop was when I was growing up, was lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had beats and yeah, Puff when Puffy came and yeah, whatever. But LL, Kumo D, Cool G Rap, Big Daddy Kane. I come from lyricists. KRS-One. Yeah. I come from lyricists, and that's why to me J. Cole is the best, is because he is a lyricist.
Later we will have Thoughts from the Throne. This is Mentality. The Big Ten.
How would people on the campus of Ohio State University, how would they look at Ryan Day?
The SEC.
Until somebody can show me that they can beat Georgia outside of Alabama, I gotta roll with the Bulldogs.
The Big 12.
Mike Gundy, show me something. I picked you last year, okay?
The ACC.
I need Dabo Sweeney and the Clemson Tigers to show me that they are understanding what the mission is at hand.
And the Pac-12. Whoa. I'm sorry, the Pac-2. Join the Playmaker as he breaks down every single week all the hot college football games, bearing down the gridiron on the Playmaker's Blog Network YouTube channel and where you can find podcasts. Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze car.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to I can be the black people.
As she takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific time zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel. Welcome back to Mentality, where this is the ultimate masculine safe space. With Wize and Cole, I am Cole Johnson. Now we got a chance to talk about J. Cole and the master MC that he is. Now we're going to talk about someone who's a master of something else, and he has stained the hip-hop game. Will he stain it any longer? Well, Mr. Sean Puffy, Puff Daddy, Diddy, P. Diddy, Love, Beat a Woman Down, Combs. It's time for you to enter under the learning tree. Sean Diddy Combs, he has requested to be released from jail yet again, ahead of his trial for federal sex crime charges. Now, the embattled media mogul's attorneys filed documents this past week to appeal his jail stay. They have done it twice before. It was denied both times. They're arguing that the federal prosecutor's prior reasoning for his detention, quote, was based on speculation, close quote. Now, his attorney, Alexander Shapiro, said in a motion for a pretrial release filed in the Second Circuit Court of Appeals, quote, what is extreme and unusual about this case is that Mr. Combs was detained immediately after he was charged, even though he has been in the spotlight his entire life, with many of his purported antics and episodes being widely reported in the press and known to law enforcement authorities. Close quote. Now, to catch you all up, Combs was arrested on September 16th in a Manhattan hotel, and he is arraigned and has been arraigned on sex trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in prostitution charges on the 17th of September. Ever since then and to this moment, he has been incarcerated in the special housing unit at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. Now, Diddy got a chance to understand when he was going to be on trial, and the first day of that trial begins when the Met Gala begins as well, May the 5th of 2025. So it looks like the judges wanted him to take that for real. Now, my first question to you, brother. Do you believe that Diddy will be in jail from now until the beginning of his trial?
Yes. Yes. Because they're not trying to have him escape to Bali. So yeah, no. They're not trying to have him escape with Russell. So
wait a minute. You don't want to see a second Russell Simmons?
No.
looking like he's Buddha.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The image is hilarious to me. But he said that he was going to offer $50 million, and not just his passports, but his children's passports and his mama's passport. And they still said,
got me up.
on, and we're going to be seeing a lot of this speculation from now until middle of the spring. Which people should fear what Diddy will have to say in his upcoming trial?
Everybody and their mama. Unless he get Epsteined, it's a lot of people going to be called out. They're already being called out. You have Piers Morgan have Jaguar Wright on his show, and she goes off on Jay-Z and Beyonce, where Piers Morgan has to apologize for having someone. Because let's be honest, Jaguar Wright is not right in the brain right now. Like, I don't care what people want to say. This lady has mental issues. She admits she was a hooker and all this other stuff. People just don't. And now she's making her rounds on the podcast. And don't get me wrong. Like, some of the she's saying, she might be true. But she's also mentally unstable person. That's my personal opinion. And so for her and that the Diddy security guard who's making the rounds now as well.
Oh, Gene Deal. Yeah.
Yeah, him. To me, I don't take his word for anything, because you were there and you let this happen. Now you want to speak up about it. You should have spoke up about it when it was happening. When you were seeing Cassie get up, when you were seeing Kim Porter get up, you should have done something about it. But you let you let that money lie in your pocket. Because when he was paying you, there was no issues.
Diddy's mother, Janice, she took to Instagram and she said that whoa, wait a minute now. All of you that are painting my son as this monster, he's not a monster. All of this is out of character, and all of this is painting a picture that is not true. And I look forward to the day he will have his day in court where he can prove his innocence. I'm paraphrasing. That's not exactly what she said, but I'm paraphrasing it. But that basically is what she said on Instagram. Do you believe what Janice said? And this is a direct quote, that Diddy is, quote, not a monster, close quote.
Listen, she's seeing her through mom's eyes. She's seeing him through mom's eyes. You're never going to see a child as a monster.
I agree to that.
Point blank period. Like,
I agree.
My brothers has done some crazy and my mom never looked at him any differently. She still looked at him with loving eyes. Yeah. Like your mom is always going to look at you with those loving lenses. So
the reason why I put that question out there is not necessarily I want people to jump on her. I want people not to jump on her, because I want people to have that type of wisdom about them, like what you said. You know, what you expect this woman to say? That's her son. I mean,
yeah.
You know, she doesn't want anything bad to happen to him, and she's looking at him in a way. And in my opinion, I include Kim Porter, I include J-Lo, I include Cassie, I include even Mary J. Blige, who they don't say that they've had a relationship with, but I know they've been at least business-wise close for 30 years. She has a relationship with, I'm talking about Janice. She has a relationship with Diddy that none of them have. And she loves his son. She loves her son in a way that Diddy has never received. And I'm not just talking about mother's love. I'm just talking about love in general, that he hasn't received anywhere else. So I'm not surprised she said that. I'm not even upset she said it. I'm not even insulted she said it. I just want her to I wanted to have the peace to not have to deal with idiots that want to attack her and say, You have no right to say that. Your son is a monster, and you're a monster too. I don't want that type of energy on her because she doesn't deserve that. But you know how you know how social media is.
Yeah, of
Basic.
course.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
No, of course. I agree with you 100%. Like, who are we to like? Yo, this is her son. This is who. Like, I would expect my mom to do the same thing for me. I would expect your mom to do the same thing for you. Stand up for you regardless. Even she your mother would never. My mother would have never abandoned. She would have been right there with me. Like, no, that's my son. I don't care what y'all say about my son.
Yeah.
I know him. I raised him. I know what kind of character he is. The kind of character he has. So, kick rocks.
Yeah. And she even said, "Is my son perfect? No, but he's a great man, and I know that." And I only raised that point so that I hope she doesn't catch these ridiculous strays that I think is going to be coming her way, because people want to basically say with pitchforks, "Your son is a devil, and so are you." I don't want that for her. I don't. And she's 84. I definitely don't want that for her.
No. Definitely not.
Yeah. So the trial is going to be in May. We have heard different things thus far. We have seen both his Hollywood, or not Hollywood, but LA. We've seen both his LA and his Miami homes be raided by Homeland Security. We have witnessed not just federal charges. Now there are civil lawsuits that are being filed against him too. It just looks like a mess. What would you like to see once justice is finally served with Diddy?
Listen, if he's found guilty, then he needs to serve his time, man. Go to jail. Point blank, period. I don't wish death upon anyone. I don't want. If he's found guilty, if he's found guilty, then he needs to serve his time. And again, like I said, we are not here. We're not judging anyone. It's not our place to judge.
Nope.
Some people just gotta live with their decisions and their actions.
And now, thoughts from the throne.
Okay, I'm not gonna call nobody out by names, but some of you influencers out there, you've grown your TikTok followings to millions and millions of people, but yet you continue to you spread this misinformation. It sucks that people that, instead of seeking the truth and finding and getting the facts, rather spew misinformation to make people believe something that is not true. All you influencers out there talking about, oh, Biden and Kamala for not helping the people in the storm, that is bull. And I don't understand some of you guys. Y'all be talking about this high moral ground, but yet y'all follow a convicted rapist. He had to pay the lady because he violated her. And again, 34 counts found guilty on. Say what y'all want to say, but get your facts straight. Biden and Harris did what they could for these states that are suffering right now. The governors from these states have said the same thing. So, influencers, if you're not gonna do something for good, then shut the fuck up.
So I've had to deal with coverage of Milton, Hurricane Milton, and there was a couple of my homies that asked for some prayers who actually live in Florida, and I can actually say that things are fine with them, and I'm glad that that it's business as usual, and they got away at least life-wise unscathed. Unfortunately, they know of neighbors who did not. And then you have the devastation that is a little closer to home for me. I live in the Nashville area, Western North Carolina, which was besieged by the devastating effects of hurricane and then tropical storm Helene, where flooding and some wind damage and some ground erosion took place. We're hurting. We're hurting. We're hurting as a nation, and I mean we are visibly hurting. And for many to want to go on the attack and use the suffering of Americans as a political stage is absolutely shameful. Forget color, forget political divisions, forget everything else. Look at that neighbor. Look at the need that he or she needs and be the help they need. And those are thoughts from the throne. All right, sir. Anything else you have for the mentality audience before we let them go?
No, I'm pretty good, man. I'm good. Felt like I got a lot of things off my chest today, so
And
I'm good.
You would. I was hoping you would. Yeah. Good, man. Well, I enjoy doing this with you, bro. I mean, this almost doesn't even feel like work. So I appreciate and love you, man. And well, we appreciate and love you guys. Look, we thank you for liking, for sharing, for subscribing, and for hitting that notification bell so you can catch everything that comes from the Real Wize TV YouTube channel and or the Comey Media YouTube channel. We love you and appreciate you. For Wize and Leffe, I'm Cole Johnson, here to say in parting, as we always do, our secret technique is that we always speak with mentality.
Peace.
That's 100.